didn't hear you speak. Whatever. Hi, sweetheart.
Hello.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn you up a little bit here. Can you say something for me?
Yes, I will say something
Oh,
for you.
there she is. So I was on my side. So we have a couple of questions I just dropped in here and was waiting for you to join me, babe. Oh,
Perfect.
hello, Renette. She says, hi, I like your videos. I'm in South Africa. Yes,
Mm.
South Africa. Yes, we welcome you. Yeah, it is. What time is it in South Africa? Is that the same CET? Is it about 6, 7 o'clock at night? I'm not sure. So, all right, friends, drop in here. My question is, all right, here we go. You look stunning, by the way,
Oh,
babe.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So Laura Reimer says, I love it when people put their full name. I feel like I'm talking to a person. So Laura says, my question is, should a woman chase a man? No. Now, there's a lot to unpack there. Okay. Remember, the masculine pursues, the feminine receives. But that doesn't mean it takes away her voice. It doesn't mean that it doesn't take away her healing masculine energy because she needs to pursue in her own life. But far too often, from her wounded masculine energy, a woman will chase and chase and chase and pursue a man when he's clearly, potentially not interested. So keep in mind the grounding understanding of masculine and feminine polarity. The masculine chases and pursues. Actually, I don't even like the word chase. I like pursue. I like pursue. I like claim. Um, but I will say, and by the way, Paige and I are married. I have been pursuing Paige for 3+ years. And it's my honor, and I love it to pursue her every single day. Just because we're married, just because we're committed, just because we're in business together, doesn't mean I stop pursuing her. And I think she likes that. I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Something comes to mind, kind of flipping the script a little bit here, is the question was, and correct me if I'm wrong, David, because I don't have it
Mhm.
in front of me. The
Sure.
question was, when should a woman pursue a man, or
The
should I
question was
chase a
very
man?
simple. It just says, should a woman chase a man?
Yeah. So I think that we could spend some time unpacking this a little bit. And while the answer is definitely predominantly a no, like that is not you retaining your feminine energy, and that's when we slip into wounded patterns of codependency and trying to chase and get something, which can be wounded masculine and feminine. All that's just kind of blending together. But I want to provide a story of me going after David. And this is kind of crashes into the question here. And there was a time at the very beginning of David and I's relationship where he was consistently setting boundaries and wanting to move the relationship forward and was expressing that. And I was in my wounded masculine energy that was kind of stalling things. I had the brakes down. I wasn't sure. I was like chilling in my wounded energies. All my trauma responses were coming forward, and so David had ultimately made a decision. He enforced a boundary for the final time, and essentially what that said was, all right, it's time for me to walk away from this. And in that moment, I had a decision to make. I could allow that to be the final answer. I knew in my heart that I wanted to be with him. I just didn't know how to be with him. It's because all of my trauma responses and wounded ways of being were in the way, and I didn't know how to get around those. And so he had essentially had that conversation to walk out the door, and then that's when I came closer. I came
Mhm.
closer. So it wasn't necessarily me chasing him. It wasn't necessarily, I would say pursue, I guess. It was more pursuing of what this could be. And pursuing,
Mhm.
really, if we really want to get deep with it, was I was pursuing myself. I was pursuing myself by
Mhm.
releasing and wanting to surrender to the wounded aspects of me that were keeping me stuck and distant and resistant to
Mhm.
a very powerful, healthy relationship.
I'm so glad you said that. I was about to say that. I was about to piggyback off what you said is ultimately what Paige did in that moment was she chose herself. She chose
Mm,
herself to say, I want more out of relationships in what I've had in comparison to what I've had before. And so she chose herself. And that choosing herself was saying, I'm going to step into my healing masculine energy and pursue this connection that I have with David. It's a powerful,
Yeah.
powerful story. And
Mm-hmm.
I love telling that. We haven't told that in a while. And it's ultimately, I shared with her over FaceTime. We were long distance at the time. And I shared with her that I had come to an ultimatum conclusion that I was going to walk away from you, that I needed to hold my boundaries and pursue something else, not someone else necessarily, but something else, and to honor my own boundaries by understanding that I am not feeling like this is moving in the direction that I have been pursuing. And
Yes.
so I simply said, it's time to walk away. And this is a great story. I got to share this story. It's so powerful, babe. It's so powerful. So we're on FaceTime. You're sitting at your desk at the time. You're in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in Kansas City. And you start pounding on the keys while we're on FaceTime. And I just revealed to you that I'm walking away. And she turns away from the camera and starts pounding on her computer. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I guess that's her answer. She's moved on to something else. And I remember that frustration and that anger, honestly, that was coming forward. I said, well, there's my answer. And I said, what are you doing? And she says, I'm booking a flight and I'll be there in 12 hours. There you go. So she was stepping into her healing masculine energy to pursue herself to say, I am worthy of a relationship like this. So I hope that's really
Mm-hmm.
helpful. It's a powerful story. That gives me chills. Again,
Yes.
I've told that
I
story I don't know how many times in front of audiences, and I get chills and brings me to emotion every single time because I felt inside that she was responding to my masculine boundary by saying yes to herself. And of course, I was pleased. Of course, I was excited. I was thrilled. Which, by the way, I also want to say this for all of you ladies and gentlemen out there who have the question about masculine and feminine energy, and where perhaps ladies, your man is more in his passive energy and you feel more controlling and you're inverted, you're more in your masculine and he's more in his feminine. Paige and I were that way when we began our relationship. We
mm,
were inverted. And we have worked incredibly and tirelessly every single day to heal those masculine and feminine wounds, to step back into our core energy, to make the relationship a polarized, healthy, congruent relationship moving forward. So is it possible? Absolutely. And we're evidence of that. And that's why we bring the work that we bring to you to help you say, hey, you know what? We've been there. We have been there and you can be there too. But it begins, by the way, it begins with your own healing, not worrying about what your husband's doing or not doing, or not worrying about what your wife is doing or not doing. It begins with your independent inner healing work. It's not my job to make sure that Paige remains in her feminine energy, to push her, to save her, to coddle her, to fix her, for the lack of a better way. And it's not her
mm,
responsibility to ensure that I'm in my masculine. It's our independent journeys to remain, for me to step into my masculine and for her to step into her feminine. So
mm-hmm. Yeah.
hope that's helpful. All right, Vane says, my question is, how can I feel good and motivated to do things after a breakup? I don't feel like doing anything. I get it, Vane.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I think every person on this call, I think everybody person on the planet has experienced that type of emotion, has experienced that type of loss and grief and sadness and depression and rage and frustration and confusion and uncertainty after a breakup. Um, and I will also say this. This is a powerful quote that Paige says all the time, but I'm going to say it because I love it. Sometimes the most important decision will break your heart, but heal your soul. And that may resonate with you, Vane, I'm not sure. But know that what you're experiencing now, and I'm going to name what it is, you're experiencing the release of codependent bonding to this man. So you are allowing, in essence, allowing the attachment that you had with him and still have with him affect your movement going forward. So I understand it absolutely feels like, oh my gosh, perhaps the world is coming to an end and you're navigating depressive tendencies and all that. But it's not because of the breakup with this man. It's because of your codependent tendencies and trauma wounds from the past that have been left unhealed that still are reigning true in your life and driving your life. So much like what we talk about, how we help our clients begin that healing journey is to identify where those initial unmet needs come from. I'm going to pause
Mm-hmm.
there and let Paigey jump in if you
Yeah.
want to, babe.
Yeah, that's fantastic. To piggyback off of that, It is so normal to experience that after completing relationships, and what you're feeling is an emotional overwhelm. Like your body is trying to process a lot right now, and you are very raw, you're very open, you're very numb, and it's taking a lot of your energy. And so that's why you're feeling more tired, you don't have a lot of motivation. It's the perfect time to hibernate. Often anytime there's any sort of break or break to the pattern in life, especially when it comes to relationships, it requires some sort of hibernation period where you can restabilize and re-find your footing so that you can move forward with more sturdiness, more
Hmm.
certainty, more clarity as to what you want the next relationship to look and feel like. And
Hmm.
so give yourself permission to rest as much as you need. Try not to beat yourself up because you're not being productive and you don't feel motivated and you're not feeling the way that you once felt in the past. This opportunity is presenting itself to you as a means to slow down and turn inward. And it's the perfect time to process experiences and emotions from that relationship, bring those to completion so that you are open and ready to receive what's to come in the future.
Mm, so beautifully said. It reminds me because I want to do a little plug here. We have a brand new tool for ladies. So ladies, if you're paying attention, if you want to begin to stick your toe in the water of healing, we can provide that support for you. We have a brand new what we call a feminine energy and lifestyle audit. It's a questionnaire. It's a 100 question questionnaire that dives deep into your past and your present and what you want and seek for the future. So it
Mm-hmm.
dives into all areas of your lifestyle, everything from your sexuality to your healing, to your health, to your movement, to your relationship with your father and mother and current relationship. It dives into the intricacies of all that and ultimately then provides us, specifically Paige, an understanding of who you are and where the specific and customized ways in which to begin and continue your healing process. So I've got it pulled up on my desktop here because it's like I continue to be mesmerized by how brilliant this woman is that's on the screen with me. But I want to just highlight what is called a audit, and you can access this, friends. This questionnaire is for ladies only, and by the way, we're in process of developing a masculine questionnaire as well for gentlemen. But right now we have the Feminine Energy Lifestyle Audit questionnaire available to you. What you will receive with this questionnaire is your unique lifestyle challenges through the lens of trauma informed masculine and feminine energetics. You will discover your individualized healing priorities and receive a customized plan. Come on, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You will receive direct written recommendations by Paige, this woman right here, who is a teacher, an expert, and master in the feminine healing. And then, lastly, and most important, you will receive a 30-minute one on one audit results review live with Paige on Zoom to provide you a customized plan to move forward. This is the
Mm-hmm.
first step. Ladies, if you are interested, if you are driven, if you're on this call right now and you're thinking, how do I even begin to heal? How do I begin to heal to realize the relationship of my dreams? This is your step. This is your
Mm-hmm.
first step. Click onto our bio links. You can download that audit for you and begin to take that assessment, begin to take that questionnaire that's going to reveal so much within you simply by going through the process and then receiving that expert recommendation from Paige. So go click on that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's awesome. Those are
Mm-hmm.
really, really simple words, I guess.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
popular. It's been really
it has.
popular lately. And yeah, I love getting a very, very up close and personal look at you. The more honest you are in that comprehensive assessment, the more honest I can be and precise I can be with your healing challenges and your top priorities moving forward. So if
Yeah,
that feels like a great first step, it's in both of our bios.
absolutely. Please go and find that. Again, it's called the Feminine Energy and Lifestyle Audit. And it's a comprehensive questionnaire for you to dive in to understand where you've come from, where you are, and where you want to go when it comes to healing. Because, ladies, this has nothing to do with, and men too, this has nothing to do with your partner. It has nothing to do with what they're doing or not doing. This has everything to do with you. Your healing is the only priority in your life. The only one. Not your kids, not your marriage, not your job, not your career, not your health. Okay, all that is part of the healing process. But it's to understand how this trauma healing, how this trauma wounding through a masculine and feminine lens is affecting your every single day. If you're tired of being tired, if you're tired of
Yeah.
being exhausted, if you're tired of wondering why in the world you continue to revolve through these relationship patterns, this is your next step. So go and find that assessment. Okay, let's jump back in.
Yes. Sounds good.
We have a couple of questions about long distance relationships. Boy, we can relate to that, can't we, baby?
Yes.
Danny says, Danny with an I, good to see you, Danny. Thank you for being here and thank you for your patience. She says, my question is when in a long distance relationship, how can I lean into my feminine self? Hmm. Yeah, and I think we have some upfront assumptions there that it could be difficult for you to be in feminine when your man is far away. And I think that's really kind of what you're packing out, since we don't have a back and forth dialogue, which, by the way, if you're interested in having a back and forth dialogue,
Mm.
we are hosting our monthly masterclass Q&A hot seat coaching event this coming Monday. You can register for that through our bio link as well. So come and join us live and spend some time with us and ask those powerful questions, and we can have a back and forth dialogue and provide some hot seat, powerful insight coaching for you. Okay. And then the other long distance relationship question, and we could probably address these at the same time. Just capital A, says, what do you think about long distance relationships with a very hardworking man? It feels empty. So yeah, we have some polarity when it comes to LDRs when we're talking about long distance relationships. The first thing I will say is we are not codependent. We are not dependent on anyone else or what they're doing. So ladies, you do not need a masculine man to ensure that you are surrendering into your feminine energy. That is the result, right? When you begin to heal yourself, when you begin to take seriously this healing path and begin to heal those masculine and feminine woundings to release you into the woman that you were crafted to become, that will then draw masculinity out of a man, out of your husband, out of a future partner. Okay. So I understand long distance relationships are challenging. Paige and I began our relationship long distance, spent 18 months in a long distance relationship. But it's important that, again, with boundaries, that you are taking care of yourself. And I know it's hard and I know it's challenging, but you can be in your feminine self and not have to be codependent and be attached to whether or not your man is present. I know you want him there, and I'm sure he wants you there too, but that doesn't stifle, it doesn't stymie, it doesn't distract, and it doesn't slow down your progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good. I think the second question, the back half of the second question said, I feel empty.
Yeah.
And so whoever said that, that is
Hey,
exactly, yeah, that is exactly what you can lean into, is expressing how the current dynamic is making you feel, is how you feel about the current dynamic, I guess. Um, because that's important. That's the best thing that you can do for you and your relationship is you remaining connected to who you are, what matters to you most, and expressing that, connecting to those feelings, connecting to those emotions, and then beginning to express your feminine voice in that way. And so, if you're feeling distant, if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling like there is space between you, if it feels empty, then those are things that you need to articulate and get those out in the open, because that is when change can then be made to modify the dynamics that feel like they are going to best align with both of you as
yeah.
individuals and as a partnership.
Mm, wonderfully said. I'm glad you addressed that back half. It feels empty. And I love how you said that. You said that from a feminine energetic, which is I feel empty. You didn't say I
Mm-hmm.
feel empty. You said it feels empty. My guess is you feel empty. And that's incredibly important that you leverage your I feel statements with your partner to express how you're feeling. I want to
Yeah.
address the first half of that question, when you say long distance relationship with a hard working man. I will say this, and Paige can confirm this or deny it. I work incredibly hard. I am what I would refer to as a hardworking man. And it never takes precedent over Paige. It never takes precedent over my children. It never takes precedent over the relationships that I hold most dear. Okay. It is a myth. And gentlemen, if you're watching this and you're leveraging that excuse as why you're not communicating with your wife, why you're not remaining close to your wife, that works comes first, that's BS. Stop doing that. Okay. Your work never comes before your wife. Never. You can make 5 seconds, 5 minutes during your workday to communicate with your wife. She wants it, she craves it, she needs it. It's not because she's needy, it's not because she's high maintenance. It's because the feminine requires and thrives in praise. And part of that praise is reassuring her how much you think of her, how much you love her and adore her. It doesn't mean you got to stop and get on a 30-minute phone conversation to your workday. Okay. But gentlemen, it is imperative that you shine and step forward in your masculine dominance, your power, your strength by showing how much you love your wife by communicating with her. Your work is never to come before your wife. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, friends? Okay. Got on my soapbox there, babe.
I love it. Yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to add. I,
Of course you do.
the
I love that.
yeah, it just continues to permeate. Um, Back to A, who said, I feel empty or this feels empty. I would love
Mm-hmm.
for you to explore the opposite of empty. What is the opposite empty to you? And how do you know? Like, what does that feel like in your body? Begin to flesh that out a little bit. Like, what would make you feel more connected? And then use that um, the source for conversation as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for that how to. That's really, really important. Um, Far too often we hear theory, but we really need, don't you all need? I know I do. I need how to's. Like, what is my first step? That's why we provide, for example, this feminine energy and lifestyle audit. It is a how to, it is a first step into your healing journey. And again, you can go download that questionnaire. It's a 100-question questionnaire for you ladies specifically to identify your first steps into your healing journey, accompanying with the masterful expertise of Paige to help guide
Mm.
you along that way. So go and download that. You can download that through our bio link. Okay, Brittany says, hello, Brittany. Brittany Burrows says, my question is if my husband is showing no interest at all, should I move on? How long do I wait? Oh, I can feel the burden. I can feel the hurt. I can feel the confusion. I can feel the pain. And if we were live here, Brittany, I would ask a little bit more in depth is what does it mean by showing no interest? No interest in his own healing, no interest in you, no interest in progression, no interest in you. So, and we don't necessarily have to be obviously going back and forth here. Um, but I want to address the back half of your question. The second question is, how long do I wait? Only you, Brittany, are going to know. There is no timeline. And let me extinguish that fire for a second. Friends, if you are following or listening to impact thought leaders out there who are telling you there's a certain time period to wait to do something, it's incorrect. That's a myth. It's misleading and it's wrong because everybody's journey is completely different. It's just like your thumbprint. It's everything is different. Everything is customizable. Okay. So how long should you wait? Only you're going to know the answer to that. What I will say is the more that you dive into your own healing, the more contrast you're going to feel. And that contrast can feel painful because it can create more distance between you and your partner. And that is hard. So it's not that your healing will change your partner, it's that your healing will change you. And you will see with new eyes. You will see with new perspective. You will feel you will feel with more purpose and passion and peace and joy and playfulness. Okay. And that can be incredibly scary because what happens and why people stay in wounded relationships is because of a lot of other tertiary woundings, fear of being alone, desperate for love, etc., etc. And so they think, I'm just going to wait one more week. I'm just going to wait one more month. I'm just going to wait one more year. And I will tell you that both Paige and I have had these experiences in our past relationships where we're thinking, oh, I'm just going to wait another year. Right? I'll wait till after the holidays. I will wait until we have this. I'll wait until we have a child. Hmm. I will wait until he proposes. I will wait until our 5-year wedding anniversary. Okay. Only you're going to know what that timeline is. The only thing you do have control over, Brittany, is your own healing journey. It's the only thing that's absolutely yours. And that's what we're here to do, is to provide that support for you.
Hmm. Yes. So good.
Anything else, babe, on that?
Yeah, I did have a couple of things.
Please.
They seem to have vanished at the moment. Um, oh, conversations. You got to have a conversation. Like that is going to be the most powerful next step before making any sort of decisions of staying or going or how long do I wait or how long do I not wait. It is so important to have conversation to bring all of this forward into the relationship dynamic. Hey, I'm feeling like you're not interested in me. Where are we at? Let's come together on this. Let's figure this out, or let's figure out what we both need, what we're and open discussion. And those are really, really hard conversations to have. And they're important. They are necessary work that must be done. And that is how you eliminate assumptions and find clarity to move forward.
Mm, well said, Sweet Pea. So Laura Reimer, um, she has a question. It's in similar spaces. She has, my question is, what do you do when your toxic spouse pushes you further into your masculine? The first thing that I will correct you on, Laura, lovingly correct you on, is it's not toxic. Stop using that word, friends. Okay, it's not toxic. No one's toxic. Nothing's toxic. He's wounded, and so are you, and so am I, and so is Paige. We're all wounded, and wounding comes from unprocessed trauma from our childhood that is still resonating energetically in our body years and decades later. Okay, so I'm also going to correct you on something too. It may feel like it's pushing you, but you have autonomy, you have choice, you have control over you. So if it feels like you're being pushed by someone, you are allowing that push to happen. And I know that's really hard to hear. My heart, my compassion, my empathy goes to you. But this, when we truly understand, and we understand this concept through our healing, okay, it only can come from our healing when we realize, oh, I have complete autonomy over the choices that I make in this relationship. No one pushes you, no one makes you feel anything. Okay. It's not their responsibility to ensure that you are who you are. It's your responsibility to ensure you are who you are. And the pathway to know who you truly are is healing your trauma.
Mm.
Anything to add there, baby, for Laura?
Powerful. Loved it. Amazing.
All right. Moving forward. Geneva says, is this your wife? Yes, she is. My question is, yeah, right. My question is, what is the best work-life balance sweet spot to date? Hmm. I think we addressed that earlier. Certainly from the masculine perspective is if you feel prioritized, either one of you, in a relationship, in a dating space, you're probably on the right track. Okay. And people say, well, we're just dating, so I don't feel like I need to be a priority. Wrong. If you're not a priority now, that's not going to grow. Okay. You need to feel like appropriately through the dating process. Okay. We want to avoid things like love bombing and, doing all that stuff that is over giving. Okay. That's woundedness. But friends and gentlemen, you are pursuing a woman in the dating space. She is your priority. Not three of them, one woman. Gentlemen, are you hearing me? You commit to one woman at a time in the dating space. You prioritize one woman at a time in the dating space. And ladies, it's the same with you. You must remain focused. Focus, okay? Not scattered. Focus is healing. Scattered is dysregulating, okay? So work-life balance, you prioritize the person. It doesn't mean that they take over your life. That's codependent wounding, okay? But if you feel prioritized in the dating space, it's probably a good place to start. Thoughts, babe?
I echo all of that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Your number one
Sassy
priority is
pants.
taking
Oh,
care
go
of
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
Your
Oh,
number
say
one
that again.
priority is taking care of you.
Yeah.
And so you're not to prioritize dating or prioritizing other relationships. Even with David, I don't prioritize him over me. I prioritize me and taking care of myself. And I'm not dependent on him. I don't need him. I want him. I want him a part of my life. He adds to my already whole existence. And so that's what you're working towards. And it sounds like, and most women have trouble with that, is prioritizing themselves because it has been labeled as selfish and lazy and wrong. And so there's some work to clean up there.
Absolutely. Pardon me. Okay. Scrolling down, we've got a bunch of questions, so want to honor everyone. Remember, friends, if you're asking a question, format it this way. My question is. So if you've already dropped a question, it doesn't have my question is at the beginning of your question, go back and reformat it. Okay? My question is, we encourage you to be curious, to ask questions, simply not by making statements. Okay? All right. Sassy Pants says, good morning, Paige and David. Good morning, Sassy Pants. Uh, let's see. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Work is a family. You want to sing for me, babe? Is that cool?
I don't
All
think you
right.
want me to sing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, my question is, uh, why do you not believe in narcissism? My husband is very narcissistic. It's a great question, Laura. That's a great question. So, our position through our healing practice, through our coaching practice, is it's not that we don't believe in narcissistic responses. And by the way, narcissism is an umbrella term that contains many different, both masculine and feminine wounding underneath that umbrella. So it is true. We do not subscribe to diagnoses. We do not subscribe to narcissistic personality disorder. What we say is it's a narcissistic personality response because it's wounding from unmet needs that is leading to behavior that feels dysregulating. These are wounded individuals, just like you and me, just like Paige, just like me, just like all of you. Okay, we're all wounded. So we need to begin to, and this is, we scream this from the top of the mountains, don't we, Paige? We want to take away labels, friends. We want to take
Yes.
away disorders. We want to take away pathologies. We want to take away, quite frankly, pharmaceuticals to cure those pathologies.
Mm,
Okay? We believe, and Paige can really speak to this, we believe that the human body is fully capable of healing itself without any help.
yes.
Can I get an amen? Right? So, no one is narcissistic. They have narcissistic responsive trauma injuries. Okay? That helps us feel more connected to our fellow human. If we're all wounded, we can relate to one another in a much more elevated and aligned way. Okay? Hope that is helpful. Hope that is helpful. I'm getting some hearts there. My question is, do relationship problems diminish with regular family dinner as a regular habit? It's a great question. It's a great question.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, you bet, baby. Uh, my question is, sounding the red alarm is this person's username. My question is, do relationship problems diminish with regular family dinner as a regular habit? I'm gonna think about that for a second. I think what sounding the red alarm is saying is what is going to bring some regulation to a relationship? What are some of the habits that can help a relationship? What I will say is nothing helps a relationship. Friends, you're not to fix your relationship. You're not to fix your marriage. You're not to go to couples counseling. The relationship is yours and yours alone. And we know this. Why? Because some people, one partner in a relationship may choose to engage in their healing and the other does not. And that doesn't improve the relationship. Okay. Your healing journey is yours and yours alone. And what I will also say is that far too often we do tasks or we check boxes or we create habits to help us change something
Hmm.
when all that is dismissing, diminishing, overriding, or ignoring the root cause problem. Okay. So I just had a conversation with a gentleman who is considering working with us as a one-on-one coaching client. And I made the mention that far too often people will say, hey, just tell me how to be a better man. Tell me how to be more masculine. What does it look like to be a masculine partner? What does it look like to lead my wife? And I can give a list of those. And that person can go and go, okay, all right, so I did that, I did that, I did that, I did that. We're healed, right? It doesn't work that way. It certainly doesn't work that way. When we're talking about long-term, effective, grounded healing, you must get to the root cause of why you have those trauma responses, why you have dysregulation in your relationship in the first place.
Hmm. The weekly dinners just become a band-aid when really you have a broken arm. And band-aids don't fix broken arms. But instead, we can begin to sling the broken arm, put a cast on you so that you begin to heal and process um, how you're supposed to heal rather than trying to just bypass it. I want to celebrate you. I applaud your conviction and dedication to trying to make this work and trying to do things that are going to help. That's really important because you have to have that emotional leverage, that desire, the want to, in order for the healing to begin. And you are there. And rather than adding to the to-do list of getting the check marks and how this is what is going to fix the relationship, instead, turn that energy and effort inward to focus on the healing that you are trying to restore in your body. What is behind the dinners? You're scheduling the dinners for a reason. And it's because you want them to meet a need of yours that you feel is not being met right now. Mm-hmm. And so there's deeper work to understand and excavate, uncover, and then we can work from there to identify how to meet those needs in a way that's going to feel more effective, long lasting. It's going to feel more real. It's going to feel more deeply connecting. And that's where the healing in the relationship begins to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, far too often we fall into the ease of doing something to fix something. Mm-hmm. We need to not fix it. We need to feel it, right? So starting a new yoga practice is not going to heal your trauma. Okay. Going to South America and engaging in an ayahuasca ceremony is not going to heal your trauma. Going to talk therapy is not going to heal your trauma, friends. Okay. These are all band-aids, as Paige said. That was brilliant. Broken arm, we'll put a band-aid on it. Far too often we think, again, it is a series of to-dos to fix your problems, and it's simply untrue. It's simply untrue. What we help so many women, men and women across the planet is to, I love your word, babe, excavate, to get at the root cause of why you think the family dinner is important. Mm-hmm. Because when we say, oh, I just need to have a monthly financial meeting with my wife and that's going to improve our finances. No, that is a symptom of deeper healing in the self to create that onto the calendar. And I speak to this particular scenario from our personal experience. I hired a financial coach 15 months ago, 16, gee, many Christmas, 18 months ago maybe, and has transformed who I am. I have significant financial trauma, ladies and gentlemen. I do. I was never taught about money management, about how money is a tool, it's an opportunity, it provides freedom. I knew nothing of that. And it languished inside of my body. That financial trauma languished inside of my body for decades. And it wasn't until I stepped into that wounding and began to truly heal that wounding specifically. That has led to Paige and I now having open, honest, vulnerable conversations about our finances. But it wasn't because I put a financial meeting on the calendar that said, oh, suddenly our finances are perfect. That's what we're getting at. It's not checking the boxes. It's not putting the band-aids. This is the work that we can help you do, is get to the heart, to excavate deep into your soul and into the wounded parts of you that still languish all these decades later. Which reminds me, I want to do one more plug here for our feminine energy and lifestyle audit. Ladies, if you're watching and you're interested in knowing how you begin this individual healing, remember, it's individual healing. It's not couples counseling. It's not couples healing. Okay? It's your individual healing. Download our Feminine Energy and Lifestyle Audit. It's a 100-question questionnaire that will reveal to you where you are today and where you came from. And then Paige will provide a customized review of your questions to give you next steps into your healing journey. You can go and download that on both of our bio links. Go and do that right now. Okay? If you're truly interested in investing in your healing, okay, and not just scrolling on TikTok. Love you, but go take action. Okay? Go take action. Babe, do you have anything else you wanted to add there?
It's a simple, easy step. It's a great entry point to get a pulse on where you are right now and what your challenges and woundings are and how they present in your relationships, in your life, with your consistencies or inconsistencies, how you're showing up with your health, your habits, your nutrition, and identifies your top priorities for healing. And we break it down into step by step. So we'll provide that pathway forward for you to make it as easy as possible.
Beautiful. Yes, please go do that, friends. Make you the priority. Remember, make you the priority. Sharky says, my question is, please, can you give examples of I feel statements? Beautiful, Sharky. Here's what I'm going to direct you to do. Send me an email or send Paige an email, and we'll provide that for you. Connect with us. Okay? Send me an email and say, hey, David, you talked to me on here. I would like some examples of I feel statements, and we'll provide that for you. Okay? So, all right. And our last question, I'm going to hold us accountable here to babe. Holly says, my question is, why does my husband seem agitated when he has to spend time with our family?
Mm.
Holly, you would have to ask him. This goes back to conversation. His agitation, his agitation has a root cause from somewhere. His agitation, his dysregulation, his anger, his frustration, the reason why he doesn't want to be there. There are reasons why. It's not just because he's an a-hole, with all due respect. There are reasons behind every dysregulating behavior. And we help folks just like you, okay? And just like your husband, if he chooses to investigate and excavate his own wounding in this area, we help you identify and bring a connection, connect the dots to why there's agitation when it comes to family. So there could be a whole lot going on here, whole lot going on here, Holly. And it would be a disservice for us to assume. Which, by the way, Holly, go and register for our free night of coaching coming up this Monday, September 18th. You can register for that on our bio link as well. And you can provide that question, and we can provide some hot seat coaching to give you a taste of what coaching truly feels like. And we want to help you. So I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. One of the best things, though, is to ask a question. You can always, like, and this question goes a really long way with any person, not only your partner, but, hey, is everything okay?
Mm.
If you notice that your partner or your person or your friend or anyone that you know is feeling frustrated or distant or like they don't want to connect or they are annoyed or frustrated or down or angry or any of those things, hey, are you okay? And that can open up the door, like even just slightly, to see if they are willing and ready to have conversation with you. Sometimes, anytime that I've done that with a person, like in public, I've done this with people at the grocery store, complete strangers before, because I can just tell that something's not okay. And when I have done this, it has opened up into a beautiful moment where these people are just trying to hold themselves together, and they are fighting everything that's happening on the inside of them, and they're trying to just be strong. And it turns into a moment where they get to feel seen as a human being. And sometimes the people we need to see the most are ourselves, but then our partner and our kids, the people in our closest circles. And so that question is very, very powerful and can certainly make an impact, or at least create some momentum in this dynamic.
Yeah. So beautiful, babe. We cannot be attached to our partner's responses, friends. So if you ask the question, are you okay? And whatever comes back, open the space and hold the space and be the container that receives that. Because as you said, babe, gosh, don't we all just want to be heard? Don't we all just want to be validated? Don't we all just want to be known, loved, honored, cared for, cherished? So, hello, Kara Payton. Kara Payton is here, babe. She says,
Hi,
hi, you
Kara.
two powerhouses. Thank you so much. By the
Hello.
way, if you are looking for an incredible podcast, go listen to the Happiness Habit podcast. This is Kara Payton's podcast. She's in the comments right here. We're glad that you're here. This is one of our fellow healers in the world, and I've been on a couple of her podcasts. I think the second one's coming out very soon, but thank you, Kara, for being here and supporting us. We adore you, we love you, and we support you. Go and find her, friends. All right, we're going to wrap that up, babe. We've got some other comments here. Someone says, I just cried at what she said. That was healing. I feel heard. There you go. Love that. Love it when it happens in the live. Karen says, love the balance of both of your responses. You are so welcome, Karen. Thanks for being here. Let's see. We've got more questions. Let's see. Holly says, I will be contacting you. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right. I think I saw one more thing that I wanted to address. Maybe not. Oh, one more blanket statement. Friends, we allow someone to dysregulate us. Okay, somebody doesn't dysregulate us. Somebody doesn't make us feel anything. We choose to remain in that environment, okay, where dysregulation happens. So it's your responsibility to take yourself out of that environment. And I know that can be incredibly hard. That sounds incredibly simple. You may come back to me and say, well, David, I have all these circumstances. I have all these excuses. I have all these reasons why I cannot remove myself. And I will invite you to seriously consider, what are those reasons? What are those blockages that's keeping you from owning your own autonomy? Because every single one of us who have been down the healing journey have had to make really, really hard choices to exit relationships that no longer served us. And that may be where you are, friends. So we've had a couple of questions that I wanted to address there. All right. We'll call it there, babe. We will call it there. Sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you to everyone who joined us today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, ladies, if you're interested in beginning to stick your toe in the healing journey, go and download our lifestyle, our feminine energy and lifestyle audit, a 100 questionnaire, 100 question questionnaire that will dive deep into where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go when it comes to your feminine healing.
Yes.
This is a powerful new tool that we're offering to you. You can click on that, download it today, right now, on our bio link. Go and find it. And we can't wait to receive your answers and provide you a customized plan to move forward. So it's a great first step. We thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, someone says, hi, Paige. How long is the one-on-one Zoom call in step 4? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I'll just read it right here.
Yes.
30-minute one-on-one audit results review. A virtual session with Paige Lee to get your personalized protocol questions answered and begin your feminine healing journey via Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I'll
Who
answer
wrote
any
that?
I'll answer any questions that you have, and then we'll
Yeah,
certainly discuss what I feel is going to be the most aligned healing path forward for you.
absolutely. So thank
Yeah.
you for that. LK216. She says, that's amazing. She says she's buying it now. Fantastic. So
Awesome.
we welcome everyone else who's going to follow LK216's journey. Again, friends, if you are interested in just sticking your toe in the water, ladies, I'm specifically talking to you. And by the way, the masculine version of this questionnaire is coming. So hold on tight. Okay. But right now we have the feminine version. Go and download that for us, for you, for yourself, and we can help you along the way. All right. That's
Sounds
it.
good.
That's all. Good night, everybody. We thank you so much for being here. I love you, beautiful. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being my wife. Thank you for choosing me. And I love you very much. We'll talk
I
soon,
love you
friends.
too. Thanks for
Bye bye.
leading today.
You
Bye.
bet.